Our 14-day Denali Explorer on pages 32 through 35, this is our bread and butter trip. This is a trip we've been doing now for 15 years consecutive. You'll notice more departure dates on this itinerary than anything else. It's a 7-day land, 7-day cruise combination. What differentiates this itinerary from the 15-day? Well, obviously you have 1 day and 1 night, but you also have dedicated time in Denali. This is now a 3-day, 2-night visit with the day trip to Kantishna versus that 2-night stay at Kantishna. So that's the big difference. When you look at these two itineraries, 14 versus 15 days, what's going to suit your time and desires best, the day trip or the overnight? Of course, some of the highlights along the way, when we travel from Anchorage to Denali National Park, the Iditarod headquarters, home to that great race that's run at the end of February, first part of March each year. The Sheep Creek Lodge is a prime example of the kinds of places that we have hand-chosen to use for our breakfast, lunches, and dinners throughout Alaska. We don't believe in using Ruby Tuesday, Golden Corral, Jack in the Box. You can do that back home. That's not Alaskan. And because we're traveling with a small group of 44 maximum, we can take you to these little mom-and-pop operations like the Sheep Creek Lodge. Of course, when it comes to the Big Four, by visiting Kantishna, I would say your chances of seeing moose and caribou and Dall sheep and bear are probably better than 85%. That extra 35 miles that you can travel into Denali, 70 miles round trip, that makes a heck of a difference, putting you again in prime position to see the best of what Denali offers. One of the advantages to do the day trip, if you will, versus the 2-night stay, for some people, 95 miles on a school bus, 5 hours of travel time is plenty. And they decide, you know, that was enough. I saw a lot of wildlife. Mount McKinley is becoming visible in the afternoon. You can take an optional flight seeing tour from Kantishna back to the park entrance where our staff will meet you, and that's about $200, 55 minutes versus 5 hours on that school bus. So some people do choose to do this, and you can do that on the day trip versus the 2-night stay when you're traveling in the park. Of course, another highlight has to be those beautiful people and those beautiful blue jackets. Really exemplifies how we have the happiest guests in Alaska because, you know, they're always having a good time and seeing places that the other travelers can't see.